And we're back. Sorry, I had to make a phone call to my wife about what they wanted done. I'm gonna have to go over there in a little over an hour, I guess, and look at what they want done. Not super sure what you said, dog crates, but these kind of dog places that she's a vet's assistant. Um, and they have different kinds of crates, different styles, plate crates, all these different styles. Someone's Bronco hat, that's disgusting. But anyways, I parked at this one is a nature trail. Then while I could have gotten pretty quickly to the part of the trail I wanted, ow, this sucks. That's pretty bad. So I don't think you're gonna find a gray parrot. Anyways, while I could have gotten to the part of the trail I want to go to by going backwards and not going through the trail, I didn't think that was in good fun, because part of this, at least the part of the trail I'm about to cross, is absolutely gorgeous. So, going to walk through this man-made trail part, and then we'll cross the road at the other part. This is a historical site as well. If you were to take this trail, probably shouldn't say too much, because one of those geolocators could find it pretty easily, but I think people should see it. So if you were to take this trail all the way to the end, there is a Civil War uniform ruins. There's ruins of a Civil War factory, uniform factory, at the end of this. Maybe we'll go there one day. Have to see who'd be interested, because I find it interesting. You can walk through it and everything, but it's just the bare bones. There's just walls on the outside. I don't even think there's walls on the inside for most of it. Hell, I'm pretty sure there's not. I think there's I-beams where they reconstructed it. But that would be this nature trail that was made there. So I remember when I was a kid, my granddad would take me on this nature trail, and we'd walk to the old Civil War uniform factory at the end of the trail, and I'd run around and play. It was so much fun. But this trail is also connected to the Silver Comet Trail, where you at right now. This is called the Heritage Trail in Georgia. This part's a nature trail, and at the end of it is a Civil War site, Civil War uniform site. I don't want to mislead you. I don't think this isn't like in Kennesaw at Battleground Park, which used to be a battleground. This is part of a historical, part of it is part of a historical road that used to be a road, I guess, and it led to the uniform store or uniform shop manufacturing plant. I don't know how you would phrase that, but they made uniforms from both sides, as I understand it. I could be wrong. I am in the South. They could have just been one-sided. Pretty close to Atlanta, so probably just one-sided if I had to guess. But it is what it is. That's what it is. It's pretty. It's just old rocks, though. It's stacked up old rocks. We might go there one day if enough people show interest. Yizha, I don't know what YIJH means, man, but thank you. I'm gonna assume you were trying to say yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna try to take y'all to the creek pond lake thing that is on the other side of the road here. Like I was saying before y'all showed up, I could have gotten there faster by going from where I parked and just walking down the street. But I felt like that was bad sport, because this is pretty. I didn't want to rob y'all of your ability to look at the kind of stuff I enjoy doing on my off time. I need to start recording more, but I don't get a lot of off time. So, but morning, everybody. I hope you're doing good. Oh, wow. Big bird. There was a crow, an injured crow down here about 15 years ago that I helped, and it was a real interesting experience because I was basically being cussed at by the crows up in the tree that was clearly its family, and as soon as I got it out of the briar bush and kind of took the vine off its wing and it flew back up there on its own, and they got real quiet and sort of started bowing their heads to me. It was real sweet. It was, I mean, that's from a human perspective, they were bowing their heads to me, but, you know, there's got to be something said to when an animal shows its vulnerable spot to you. It's showing some sort of either respect or willingness to engage in a non-hostile way. So that was really cool. So this is the bridge. There's a creek that goes through here. When I was a kid, I used to be terrified of crossing this thing because it's, I guess I didn't realize how bridges were built. I used to think it would collapse under me. It's a dumb thing to think as a kid, but I was probably only like 9. That was 20 some odd years ago, 22 years ago. They're doing some sort of construction here. I think those are replacement wood planks. My day's going pretty good, Pamela. How's yours? I'm just taking a walk through the woods. I did one earlier this morning, but I had to drive here. I didn't want to walk all the way over here. It's not too far, but it's not the closest either. It's about 2 miles away. And while that would be fine if I was by myself, I don't really want to hold the camera, walk 2 miles on the road, leave my car behind knowing I'm going to have to walk those 2 miles back, only to do another stream in the woods that I could drive to. What's going on with y'all's life? Anything interesting? I'd love to hear. Sorry, I'm coming up on the road. There's psychos on this road. They'll just speed through here. Down this part is where I parked. Right down there at the park. But this is where I could have gone if I wanted to get to where we're going faster. I'm just in no hurry. Okay, it's actually the other way. I'm dumb. So we're gonna double back this way. I'll probably walk through walk back the other way, just because I showed y'all what I wanted to show y'all with the bridge and the beautiful nature trail we have down here in Georgia. That one's sort of a local trail. I don't hear many people coming around talking about it. But it's beautiful. I've seen a lot of weird stuff go down there, though. It's not the kind of place you go at when it's getting dark. Well, near Atlanta, there's a lot of places you don't go at when it's getting dark. Okay. So this is the trail. We're not supposed to come back here. Cobb County water system access only. I just gave y'all a little bit of a hint, or a big hint, where this is if y'all want to come. But there's a lake, creek, pond thing down here that when I was younger, we used to fish. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to find it again. Sure I can. I think it's, I don't remember which way it is now. We're going to go down, follow this trail. Yeah. So I know I started this channel as a sort of a knife channel, but there's only so much that I want to produce about knives. You know, it's not that it's controversial or contentious. It's more just everyone has their opinions, and I'm not going to tell one person they're wrong about why they carry something over another unless you carry a Leatherman. in which case you are very wrong. Oh, that's muddy. Either just got attacked by a spider or a squirrel. I don't know which yet. Anyways, I don't retain much in viewership, so might as well do what I enjoy. Ooh. God, it smells like shit back here. Probably shouldn't have said that for another 10 minutes. Now YouTube's gonna get on me. But I did say I'm not streaming kids, so. What time is it? Yeah, probably only stream for another 30 or 45 minutes. I gotta head to my wife's work pretty shortly here. Oh, sweet. So these are another one of the, there we go. We got some of those white and yellow ones too. So these are some of the daisies, and I don't know what these purple flowers are called. Not a great florist. I know fauna pretty good, but florals aren't my thing. But these are some of the native Georgia flora that it's just so pretty. It's just gorgeous. Like these bloom. I think they're yellow in the summer, and yeah, they are. You can still see some petals. But this is native Georgia fauna or flora, sorry, and it's not that native anymore. It's just not common. You got to go walking to find it. I forget what this is called. You can eat it though. I wouldn't recommend it. It tastes like shit medicine. Looks like rhubarb, sorta. Stains the hell out of everything. But you can eat it. These are walnuts right here. Black walnuts. Don't believe you can eat those ones specifically without processing them a bit and boiling them and whatnot, but they are edible. They're better for tanning things though. You take them, get a hell of a lot of them, you put them in a big old bucket of water. Some more of those purple flowers. You put it in a big old bucket of water, you take the ones that float out, and then you boil the hell out of them until, you know, you get the kind of dark tone you want. And you remove the water or separate the water from them. And then you can process them further if you want. But what you do with the water is you save that first batch and boil it down until it's the color you want. And then you can dye stuff with it. And it'll leave it a almost black brown, very dark brown. Sometimes it will leave it basically black. You know, it's just, there's a lot of stuff you can do that with. I actually recommend going out and finding your local flora and try tanning some stuff, or dyeing and tanning some stuff with it. It can make really beautiful colors, and it's not predictable. You don't know what you're gonna get some days. I've done some greens and some leaves and whatnot and thought I was gonna get green. It turned out like a yellow. It's really interesting. Indigo is like that, I believe. The original indigo color, you get it from, I don't remember, I'm not gonna lie to you. But if you see them process it, you'll get it between strands and it's like orangish yellow. Squeeze it out, let the air fibers interact with, or let the air interact with it. It's indigo all of a sudden. We got plenty of acorns around here. You can technically eat acorns, but you have to process the tannins out of them a lot. Not only will it make you sick, not like violently sick, but you will shit yourself, vomit probably. But it makes it real bitter. And the tannins are basically dyes that you're using, so, or that you're consuming if you eat them. So I just wouldn't do it. Acorns aren't terrible. If you're gonna make pemmican, actually, they're really good for it. So they don't have much of a flavor once you process them all the way. If you roast them, they get a pretty, not intense, but a subtle flavor, much better. But they're great for pemmican, very high in nutrients. I'm gonna have to fight some squirrels for them, but god damn, this road is the worst. So, yeah, I might just be walking into that new neighborhood, to be honest with you. I haven't been back here in 2 decades. Probably a decade and a half, to be honest with you. So at least a teenager last time I was back here. Oh, this is new. A freaking microwave back there. Ugh, that was a step there. Sorry. I didn't mean to jerk you up like that, guys. That was a hidden, I guess a bunch of leaves are collected in that little tire track. And I just took a dip right into them. Sort of like what's coming up, but it was not as long. There were a lot more leaves. I just didn't expect it. Sorry. I didn't mean to take you off for that trip. Sorry, I just heard something. It wasn't animal, more human. Might have been me, but it didn't sound like anything I have on me, so I just wanted to take a look around. Oh, wow. A field of these purple flowers. It was gorgeous. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous, mate. Gorgeous. So, we used to fish this. Oh, God, that hurt. Goddamn rock slipped. Wow. It's a big old bird right there. But we used to fish this. We used to walk water or waist deep in it. If you go that way, it's just a pain in the ass to go if you don't get in the water. I'm not going to do it. But if you go back that way, so it opens up. It opens up this way too, but you got to go a lot further. Plus, you end up going back through the creek that we just walked through with the bridge. So we never went that way because there's definitely going to be people, you know. We always went this way. There's a little dam right there. We'd swim in this section. This was back when I was living the life as a teenager. No worries, no bills, nothing like that. This was living the life back then. I used to be scared to cross this thing. I had a thing about heights when I was a kid. Still have a thing about heights, to be honest with you. I don't do heights. I wasn't born with wings or the ability to land properly good. So I just, in general, avoid going up too high. Some stick welds for you right there. Not very good ones, but you gotta forgive them when they're out here. And they probably had a truck up there and wire and stuff just maybe up here, but either way, this was done off a generator. It's not going to be the best welds. And you can even see they didn't want to weld some of it. They just bolted some of it together, which is probably what you have to do here. I've never done anything over over a creek or anything like that. I've never been paid for that. Be interesting. I'd be interested to do it. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. Just super interesting. Let's try to get back up here without sliding. That's what I'm talking about. These big rocks are the worst because you'll think you got stable footing and then they shift and Jesus, it jerks you all over the goddamn place. Whew, that hurt my knee. Black walnuts are everywhere. Gotta be careful through here. We're real close to the water. It's that time of day I was talking about. So this was here back in the day. And we used to go, down here, over that, either walk through the water or step on that piece of concrete and walk to the other side. Buddy of mine, Jackson, thought it was going to be a really good idea to go down here and just walk across the pipe and use those vines. They weren't as plentiful then, but we still had, they're probably not even the same vines if I'm honest. But they were there were vines there, and use those vines to get across. Well, he got down here, started to lean forward, and just railed himself and his knee, if I remember right. He hit his knee on the concrete over here and just racked himself on the pipe. And we all ran back across to come help him, but he was in pain. That ruined the whole day, if I remember correctly. And we had a lot of fun. This used to be, when we said we were going camping, we'd get in the truck and they thought we were going, some campsite, some shit like that. No, we were coming here. We were going not far away from the house. If we needed to go back to the house, it's only 5 miles probably. I could have done that an hour in the middle of the night walking. So we weren't scared or anything back here. It was just, I don't know if it was Cobb Water Authority back then or any water authority back then. I think this was just sort of, I think the Water Authority probably used the trails we made to develop everything back here, if I had to guess. Sorry, I'm dealing with these Joro spiders. I'm not trying to destroy their web entirely, but they make webs like this, and you just got to kind of pass through without trying to touch them. It's a pain. I wasn't wrong. This does go to where I thought it goes to. So there's a new neighborhood. It used to be where we camped. They actually had to move the water and create new water sources and all that when they made it. But anyways, it used to be where we camped, and I had a theory. It was pretty easy to guess, but I had this hunch that if I followed back this trail all the way, it would go to the ass end of that neighborhood and connect up. And I was 100% right. Just weird that, they've changed so much here. This area used to be a township, I think is what they called it, where it had not enough residents paying taxes into this county where they could be their own city or anything. So we were part of the county. And it used to be really, really nice. Not that it's not nice, but it used to be less people, less crowded, less businesses. Less businesses, and the businesses that were here did a lot. Everyone knew everybody basically, and now you've got people from California settling here, which I don't like. California people are one thing, but California as a whole, I'm not the biggest fan of. But things are getting out of hand in Georgia when what used to be a small town has people from California moving here for jobs. It's all good. It's not like I haven't traveled for work before. It's just, my kids are going to miss out on the old times, where freedom was free. All you had to do was step outside. Now, I can't do it without abandoning half of everything I've ever done, everything. The first half of my life, I could have up and moved to Alaska, changed my name, gotten a new profession. No one would have known any the wiser. This last half of my life, so entwined with the internet for everybody, not just me, and everybody. This used to be I don't actually know what a window, maybe a TV front. But last half of my life has been so intertwined with the internet, as everyone else's has been, that it would probably be less than a month you'd be found out that you're a fraud and that's not your real name, and all that. It's not difficult these days. I know you can get enough money, you can disappear probably, but hell, I'm not far off of the mountains where you could disappear whether you want to or not. Appalachian Mountains start, the foothills start at the tip of my state and keep going through a few states, a bunch of states. And but it used to be said if you wanted to get lost or be lost, you can go to the Appalachia and just disappear. To that point, there was a guy for like 15, 20 years. He was wanted by the FBI. I don't remember whether he was one of the most wanted, but he was wanted by the FBI. I forget his name, forget what he went by, but became a famous hiker on the Appalachia because of how often he was there. And he murdered his family and disappeared in the Appalachia, and or something like that. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong, but he did it for like 15, 20 years. It took him over a decade, I remember that. And he just disappeared, No sat down, nothing. People remember seeing him at some of the Appalachia stores. If you don't know what an Appalachia store is, it's basically a mom and pop shop that is connected to sort of a dead road that the Appalachian Mountains trails go through. There's Appalachia cabins where when you get to the certain areas where it's way too far to get to main road or a hotel or anything, there's cabins people have built. They're sort of like ruck shacks. But you can have up to like 20 people in there in the winter. And they're not the best built. You're not there for comfort. You're there for necessity, though. They're a place you can keep warm, socialize, not lose your mind. Eat, stay out of the elements. That's what they're built for. They're a communal living area for people passing through. They're not a permanent dwelling, although they're permanently there. They also have log books, some cabbage, some native Georgia cabbage. But they also have log books that you can sign into and all that. I'll be 100% honest. You can carry a gun if you go on the Appalachian Trail. I went on it for a month when I was younger. Had the time, and I wasn't ever in what I would call imminent danger, but there were some situations, specifically passing by people and at night around people. There's certain rules, sort of like men don't piss next to each other at the urinal. They leave an empty spot, make someone else deal with that awkwardness. But when you're camping in the Appalachia, say if there was a tent right there, no one would be allowed to camp anywhere within a certain radius unless they're invited. You need to hold your own in the Appalachia. And There's a couple of times, well, once specifically, where I was camping in the Appalachia, someone got real close to my campsite and pitched their campsite up. Now, granted, I don't want to, I feel like there's a lot of this going around. I don't want to assign malice where it could be in ignorance or incompetence. That'd be bad on my end. But these are sort of well-established rules that even if they were ignorant or incompetent, you don't assume that. That is one of those situations where it's better to assume that there may be malice and hold your own and maybe pack up and leave. I didn't, but you need to be aware in the Appalachia. When things get quiet, like if you listen, there's plenty of noise. You got frogs, you got birds, you got crickets, you got all of it. In the Appalachia, you'll have all of that. Lots of birds all the time. They don't give a shit about you. But you need to pay attention to a couple of things in the Appalachia. One, silence. When everything gets quiet, you need to get quiet too. It's almost like the wind stops when everything gets quiet. It's crazy. You immediately need to be aware of your surroundings in the Appalachia if everything gets quiet. The second thing I would say is be aware of, sounds like a Skyrim thing, but be aware of crows, foxes, things like that. Specifically like prey animals, like rabbits and foxes and some of the smaller animals that the bigger animals can eat. If they're running away from you, sort of zigzagging, typically they're running from you. If they're running past you straight, they know something you don't. You need to immediately hide. Fucking foxes are very smart. Crows are super smart too. They'll look back and forth. If you're not even if you're everywhere, but crows in the Appalachia, I've seen them almost warn me of signs, because they'll get real excited and start making these calls that are going to long ranges and short ranges. You can tell the difference. One sounds really loud and the other one's really short. Well, one's a call out, one's a call here. And when they start doing that, they're trying to warn all the other crows. I need to go that way, but I'm going to go this way first. But they're trying to warn all the other crows that there's something to look out for. You need to look out for that too. Crows are the smartest birds that I've ever seen. And if you're not going to respect that when they're giving you the warning signs, all I can say is you kind of deserve what might happen next. This is uncomfortable. I hate this high grass. But I've been in situations where crows got real quiet out of nowhere. And when they do that, it's not good. It means not only may there be an aerial predator, there may be another predator. Because what crows will do, I'm not going to go down that way, it's covered in webs. What crows will do, they'll wait until a kill is made, watch it, come back and pick the bones. So they're real interested in what's going on around them, because they don't kill anything besides bugs and snakes maybe. But for the most part, they're picking their meals off of other things that have already killed it. So they're real interested in not only the small animals that they're going to eat, but also the big animals that's going to provide them their meal. So you can almost guarantee crows will give you the right information if you're willing to offer up some tribute. I mean, you can make I've made friends with crows at workplaces, bring me little gifts. Aglets, shoestring, shit like that. But they'll bring me stuff. Crows are real smart like that. God, the sun is beaming down on me now. Alright, I got about 15 more minutes on stream. Then I gotta head to my wife's work. Whew. Almost fell there. The other thing in the Appalachia I would say is I've seen a lot of back and forth on comfort versus whatever. Equipment, I guess, or what you carry in the equipment. I would say that I'd rather be a little nippy and protected from the elements than have a light backpack and I am sweating in the winter. So I've seen a lot of people use those kind of synthetic fabrics when they go hiking in the Appalachia. Look, if you can survive that kind of thing, you're a fucking better man than me. Those synthetic fabrics wick the moisture out of you, and the Appalachia is humid. It's like this, really, where you get humid mornings, mixed with the morning sun, and just wick it out of you and burn you up. It's just the way it works. Well, in the Appalachia, where you can't get away from all that, I do not suggest those synthetic fabrics. What I would suggest is cotton. Cotton and a stream. What you do is you do it what they do in the Middle East. You wear a bunch of cotton cloth. It'll make you feel like you're warmer, but you wear this kind of thin, fabricy cotton that is flowy with some stuff underneath that sort of sticks to you. What you do is you put water on some of those layers, and the flowiness of it will provide you air and keep you cool. The humidity in your own body will kind of, or that is being wicked out of you, and the sweat and whatnot, will mix into the fabric and it'll keep you cool again. It's sort of like this repeating process. But you can't do it too much in the dead of the day, because if you completely soak your clothes in the day and the sun's beaming down on you, it makes you hotter as it's wicking out, and it'll actually really dehydrate you. Shouldn't do it. Oh, it's hot. All right, I'm gonna sign off. Y'all have a good day.